Well, hello, everyone. I'm Jill Bloom, Group Publisher of Roofing Contractor, and I'm so excited to have you all here. In honor of National Safety Month, I am going on site with Tammy Clark to talk about harness fitting. What's more important than harness fitting? Well, Tammy, it's so great to see you. This is so fun in honor of Safety Month to be able to have you on site and do some really special training for everybody who's watching. But Tammy, first and foremost, please introduce yourself. Tell everybody who you are and why it's so great that you're going to be doing some training here for us.
Well, hey, everyone. It's nice to see you again. My name is Tammy Clark. I'm a health, safety, and compliance professional. I'm out on site. So this is like real world footage because I'm actually doing some fall protection training. You can see the house in the background. We have a steep slope roof that's being re-roofed back there. And I have a crew that I'm checking on doing some safety inspections, but we're also, while I'm out here on site, making sure that everybody is working safely and compliantly, I'm also doing their annual fall protection equipment inspections, which is required by OSHA. So I'm gonna just take a couple of minutes and I'm gonna demonstrate. I have a guinea pig here, Roberto, who's gonna be my, my model. And I just got done inspecting all of his equipment and harness is good, everything like that. So I'm just going to take a couple of minutes to tell you and just to remind all of you, because if you're not wearing your fall protection properly, you can still fall and you can still hit the ground. And believe me, I've done those inspections where people have been wearing their harnesses. They've had too much, rope length, or things haven't been adjusted properly. And so I've still had to do an accident type of investigation. So I'm going to flip this camera around and I'm going to hand it to my assistant, Javier. And Javi is going to video while I walk through how to properly fit a harness, how to properly wear and inspect a harness, so that those of you working in the field know when you're wearing your fall protection and your equipment, number one, how to properly fit it, how to properly use and wear it, how to properly inspect it and store it. So hang on, bear with me a minute while I flip this camera around.
That's awesome. Thanks, Tammy.
Okay, there you go, Javi. Okay, and Roberto, come on in here. So we have a harness here that I just got done inspecting for Roberto, and Roberto is going to demonstrate for you guys, number one, how the harness is supposed to be fitted, and then we're going to look at how it's properly inspected and stored. So go ahead and put your harness in. And while Roberto is getting his harness put on, you can hear the pounding in the background. We've got 5 guys working on the roof. You can see the harnesses and the ropes in the background. On 2 different sections here. This is a steep slope residential roofing project. So proper fitting with harnesses, rope lengths, retractables are very, very important on a project like this. Okay, so here we've got Roberto with his harness on, and you can see, first of all, the chest strap is right at the chest, the breastbone should be. As I've been doing these inspections, I've been noticing that the chest straps have been slipping. So we've had to take these harnesses out of commission and issue new ones. So the chest strap, it's important that it stays right here at the breastbone, because if it's not secured, these shoulder straps will fall. And we have had guys, because guys, your center of gravity is in your shoulders. We've had guys when they have fallen with a chest strap either missing or too low, swan dive right out of the harness and hit the ground. So this is very important. Make sure, I've probably taken, Javi, what would you say, about 8 harnesses out of commission? I think we've pulled 8 harnesses over the last 2 days doing these inspections, just because of improper chest straps. Okay, then you can see his leg straps are fitted so he can get a few fingers in between. Now you can't have it so tight that you can't bend, because the guys are bending and working, right? So he can still bend and move, but at the same time, what we don't want is these leg straps to be hanging down here. Guys, I'm just going to let you use your imagination what can happen to you if you fall and your leg straps are too loose, right? I'm just going to leave that one alone.
Nothing in your pockets.
Nothing in your pockets. The other problem, though, is, and I have investigated a fatality from someone who fell and their leg straps were hanging down just above the knees. When they fell and those leg straps jerked, it actually severed the femoral arteries and he bled out before he could get to the hospital. So this is a very important aspect. Okay, turn around for me. Now we can see that this is properly fitted because we have our D-ring right between the shoulder blades where he can connect. Go ahead, Roberto, can you reach that when you go to connect? Can you reach this okay? See how sometimes they struggle to find that, we can get an extender, a 3-inch, a 6-inch extender. So that will hang down so that all they got to do is grab the bottom. It makes it easier because our policy here with this company, I'm working with a roofing client here in Chicago, and our policy here is you do not step off the ladder until you are first connected, right? So what they will do is we'll give them an extender. So it makes it easier for them to grab and connect. So they're not doing this on the ladder. That way there's never ever a time when we have a roofer on a roof who is not protected with fall protection. So, all right, go ahead and spin around. Now, when we're doing an inspection, one of the things the guys know, they need to be inspecting these at a regular basis. So we're looking at all the nylon web strapping. We're also looking at cross stitching, make sure this is not pulling apart all the way down, every component. Spin around. You're looking for wear and tear here. Depending on the brand, you will see red lines and red stitching start to show through because this will get worn here. And then you just continue, look at the stitching, make sure this is not pulling apart all the way down. And now my guys know, thank you. Now my guys know if you start seeing wear and tear, if there are snags or cuts in the nylon, start seeing wear and tear at the D-rings, you contact us right away and we will issue you a new harness. Because if there is any structural integrity compromise, when this person falls, they're not just putting 150 pounds or 200 pounds of force at that moment of shock loading, at that dynamic shock loading moment of impact. They're going to put close to 2,000 pounds of force on all of this entire component, every component of the system. So if there's any tear, snag, or anything like that, that entire thing may blow apart and may not catch that person, and they may blow right through their harness. I've seen it happen. I've investigated these things. So anyway, just wanted to take a couple of minutes here and show you a proper harness demonstration, inspection process. And then for storage, it is always to be stored by hanging up on the D-ring and letting it dry out. Okay, wet harnesses will create mold, and that mold can eat away at the fibers of the straps.
I love it. So Tammy, let's look at those leg straps again. Can you demonstrate what's too loose and what's too tight? Javier,
Okay,
show me what's too light.
so they should be able to just get a few fingers. See, this is borderline too loose, but it's okay because he's got to bend. He's got to bend and move.
Okay.
Loosen this up a couple. Loosen that up for me a couple. These guys they're bending up and down a lot and moving.
Right. Yeah.
It's got to be to move. But if it's too low like this, when he falls, what's going to happen is this is going to sever right here.
Okay.
And we don't want a permanent injury. There can be several different things that happen there. So tighten this up so it's too tight. Now this is probably a little too tight because he can hardly bend.
Okay.
So they're on their knees, and they're moving around a lot. And if it's hurting them to bend, then they're not going to be comfortable and they're not going to be productive. So they need to be able to get, I just tell them if you can slide your hand in there just a little bit, we're good.
Awesome.
The rule that he told us is if you could put your hand in when you make a fist and you try to fill it out. If it's hard to fill it out, then that's fine.
Right. So we just had a training with Werner, and we had all of the guys fitted, and they showed them by example. If you can put your hand through, make a fist and pull it up and it's tight, it's good. So
Awesome.
That's kind of our rule with them.
Love it.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Tammy. That's great information, especially this for Safety Month and every month. And anytime anybody is needing to know exactly how to fit a harness correctly. Thank you so much, Javier, for being our guinea pig.
One of the things that, a lot of roofing contractors I have found are not necessarily aware of or are doing is their annual inspection of all of their fall protection equipment. So a personal fall arrest system, or PFAS, consists of the harness, the rope or the retractable, the anchors, the 6-foot lanyards, all of it, every single component. So we have to be inspecting this because if there are any deficiencies, it needs to be caught, it needs to be recorded, taken out of service. So most of my guys know to just glance over their equipment, looking for any obvious signs of wear or damage. But we also are doing this annually because it is a requirement by OSHA. And so we have a spreadsheet where each harness and all of the different ropes and lanyards, the retractables, they're assigned to each employee. And that way, when we do the inspection, we can note, is it still in good condition? Does it need to be taken out of service? Does it need to be replaced? So that's one of the things that I'm doing here, and it has to be inspected by a competent person. So as I'm going around doing site inspections on a lot of these projects around the Chicago area, I'm also pulling the guys down one at a time with their ropes, their retractables, everything that's been assigned to them. And we're doing a very thorough inspection in the field. So I have my assistant with me with our spreadsheets to note, the model numbers, things like that. And we've replaced about 8 harnesses just due to improper chest straps, interestingly. So
love it. Well, thank you, Tammy, for all you're doing to keep everybody in the roofing industry safe, because that is number one, right?
absolutely. Everything that these guys do, as you can see by this house behind me, it's very steep slope. It's several stories, and you can see everything these guys do is considered imminent danger. One slip, one fall, and you could have a fatality. So we have to take a zero tolerance policy when it comes to fall protection, and we have to be making sure that the equipment that they're provided is in good working condition, and then train them on how to properly wear it, use it, inspect it, and store it in between visits.
Tammy, thank you again so much for joining me. And if anyone has any questions for us, it's roofingcontractor.com. And while you're there, make sure you sign up for all our free content, especially our e-news, our website, our webinars, so you can always stay up to date on all the great interviews we're doing like we are today with Tammy. But most importantly, stay safe and healthy, and we can't wait to talk to you soon.